Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to bring you some last-minute bets to hammer for the March Madness games going on today. So I specifically filtered for college basketball, specifically filtered for today, and I have a couple plays here for today, Thursday, March 16th. Plays last minute for you guys to lock in. I have already locked them in myself. They're still available. Let's chat. Play number one, going to get right into it. Don't want to dilly-dally around here. Play number one, Boise State versus Northwestern, total points over 127.5. So I locked this bad boy in. I put a full unit on it, $104 to profit $100. All of these plays are going to be for one unit. The play, again, Boise State versus Northwestern, over 127.5, minus 104 at WinBet. So there's a couple things to note here. I will stick with the positive EV page and then talk to you about how you can look even more into plays to making sure that you're placing the best of the best. But everything is derived from these no vig odds here. So every single positive EV play, you're going to see odds under this no vig odds column, right? And what you need to know for the purposes of this video about these odds is that they're pulled from the sharpest sportsbooks in the world. They're pulled from the sportsbooks that consistently do the best job at pricing odds. So you can view these no vig odds as the perfect line of a market, the most accurate representation of what a market should be priced at. That is what goes into these odds here. So being able to beat these odds, beat the no vig odds, which just means getting better odds, right? You're getting more favorable odds for us as the sports bettor, more money, really what it comes down to, then that is going to be profitable in the long run. In every single play on the positive EV page, there's going to be a mathematically profitable gap between the no vig odds and the odds of the bet we're placing. Now, that doesn't mean I just blindly hammer every single bet from the positive EV page. I try to look a little bit more into the plays themselves to make sure they're good. And when I say look into them, I don't mean like, oh, I look at the trends, right? I look at the matchups. All the sportsbooks take that information into account when they're pricing odds. What I mean by that is I look at all of the other sportsbooks and see where they are pricing a play at. And for a total and a spread, what you want to do is click View Event Page, open it in a new tab, and it brings up this screen you see here. Essentially, sportsbooks are all going to have different odds, right? For those of you that have been sports betting for a little bit, you know, sportsbooks are all going to have different odds. If you don't know that, now you do. And with that, they also are going to have different lines themselves. And when I say lines, I mean like totals, spreads. They're all going to be different. So when you open the event page in a new tab, which I just did, right? Opened it in a new tab, it pulls up where every sportsbook prices the main line of whatever market you chose, which in this case was the Boise Northwestern total. So we took the over 127.5. So we want to make sure, all right, do all of the sportsbooks support our bet of going over? And the answer is a resounding yes. So we got it at 127.5 at minus 104. So not even did we get it at like even money, minus 110 odds, right? And look at where every other sportsbook prices it. And when you're line shopping like this, you want to compare odds to the sharp sportsbooks. Pinnacle has their main line of this at 128.5, a full point higher. Circa has it at 128, half point higher. Bet Online, also at 128. Bookmaker, 128.5. Every single sharp sportsbook is telling you that this total should be priced above the 127.5 number that we got. That represents value on this over 127.5. And beating the closing line, even by a half point, even this half point difference is massive in the long run. It might not matter for one individual bet, but if it matters 10%, 20% of the time, that's a huge deal when you are locking in a large sample size of bets. You know, over 1,000 bets, that's like over 200 bets. We're just beating the closing line by half a point. Literally was the difference between winning and losing or winning and pushing, something like that. For those of you that have been sports betting for a little bit, you've definitely got by the hook at one point in your life where you had the over 127.5 and it landed at exactly 127, or you had the over 128.5 and it landed at exactly 128, something like that. In a situation like that, That literally, because we line shopped and got this at a good price of 127.5, that would literally be the difference of winning or losing our bet just from this one singular point. So these things matter and it adds up in the long run. Long story short. So play number 1, Boise State Northwestern over 127.5, minus 104 at WinBet. Play number 2, we are looking at Auburn money line, minus 111 at FanDuel. So I actually locked this in earlier in the week. I got them at minus 104. As you can see here, it's still available and it's still positive EV at minus 111. So I'm adding it to my list of plays. FanDuel prices it at minus 111. And if you look at the sharp sports books, Pinnacle, which is given the heaviest weight, minus 123. BetOnline, even more favorable at minus 125. And then Bookmaker and Circa are a little bit closer, with Circa being the closest at minus 115, but Bookmaker at minus 120. Still a good price here. I love moneyline plays because it's the easiest bet to understand in sports. You don't need to look and do any calculations or wonder, are you going to get a bad beat or is a team really going to cover? Literally just need to win straight up. And we're getting a good price on Auburn money line. So that is going to be our second and final play for this video. So 2 last minute bets to hammer for March Madness. If you're tailing these and riding with me, comment and let me know. But that's it. So I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up at my Twitter handle on the screen here in the description of the video. And that's it. So appreciate you guys for watching and have a good one.